Welcome to V.I.M.P, the very important movie podcast with Sean, Darian, Jaden, and Eli. I'm Sean.
I'm Darian.
I'm Jaden.
And I'm Eli.
This is the world's first and only podcast that will be breaking up with Catch Me If You Can next year after it turns 25. Recorded live from Hollywood, California, Charlotte, North Carolina, and from a French-style prison cell in Hayden, Idaho. This is our free episode, so if you like this movie shit but want even more, go subscribe to our Patreon for bonus episodes on our new weekly newsletter. The link is in the description. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourselves. Which is exactly what Donald Trump said to his thousands of dumb shit fans that put deposits down on his golden Trump phone when he pulled the rug on it. Did you guys see that? Did you see
No.
that?
I did.
It's very funny to me.
No, I didn't see that.
It's one of the funniest things that anyone has ever done, I think, is get 600,000 people to put a deposit down on your golden fucking iPhone clone and then cancel it and keep all the money. Something like
Keep all the money. It's
$50
crazy.
million, some exorbitantly huge amount of money that he got that he's just keeping. And he just told everyone to suck his ass,
Funny.
which is some king shit for a
I feel
really
like
cool guy.
He could spit on everybody's face and they'd probably say thank you.
They'll applaud him for being so business savvy.
Yes. $100 they put down on deposits. He got $59 million that he's just keeping.
I want $59 million. I'm going to start
This is
scamming
some
people.
Catch Me If You Can, like scam shit that he's doing right there. And he's not going to jail.
Yeah.
Nothing is going
Tom
to happen
Hanks
to him
needs to get
bad.
him.
You could try,
Just kidding.
but
Tom
then
Hanks
he would
is
just
bad
get indicted.
too, allegedly.
Like, who's bad? Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Allegedly. I heard he
What?
was involved with the Epstein stuff.
Oh, really? That's a bummer. I hadn't
Allegedly.
heard that.
But so was Leo. Honestly, big Epstein movie.
Probably. I don't think there's anyone out there that has any sort of notoriety or money over the last 40 years is not somehow tangentially involved, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Don't bring Mark Ruffalo into this.
Oh, Mark.
Maybe
He's actually the ringleader.
he was on the island, but he just didn't know who it was. Like, he was truly innocent. We can hope, right?
He is.
We can hope and we can pray.
We can pray.
Ooh,
Yes.
you guys see that? Trump also said that he doesn't give a fuck about America's finances or the American people's finances. I thought that was funny.
I did see that.
Doesn't shock me
Thank you, Trump.
in any way, shape, or form.
I think he was talking about like in regard to war with Iran.
Well, I think he
And-
was referring to the economy tanking and all the prices skyrocketing. He's basically
Right, because I
saying,
think I saw that people were saying, "Oh, are you not worried about that?" And he was like, "I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about Iran having nuclear weapons."
yeah, it's so important. They've been planning on nuking everyone for so long. Ridiculous. You know what I bet he did like, though?
They must be stopped.
I bet he's a real big fan. He's probably really bummed about the NASCAR shirt or the IndyCar shirt that got pulled, which I think
I don't
would have
know
been
what
really
you're
cool.
talking about.
And I want one. So IndyCar, for this
What
race
is it?
coming up, they've made a shirt that you could buy on their website that said "One Nation, One Race." And for some reason, people freaked out
Oh.
about that with an American flag on it. And they're like,
Who approved
what?
this?
Why would anyone think that there's anything wrong with a One Nation, One Race t-shirt with an American flag on it? It makes no sense to
Nothing wrong
me.
with that.
I think it's fine.
Good old white pride.
Jesus.
Like, how does that get past one person,
No,
let
that's what I'm
alone
saying. Like
so many people that had to approve of that? It's
things like
mind-boggling.
this. It's like the American Eagle jeans ad. This had to go through so many people, and you're telling me not one person was like, this could be perceived wrong. Not one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they did that on purpose. I think they wanted it to be that way. The American Eagle jeans, they were doing it on purpose because they just wanted engagement. Whereas this one, I think it was just clearly like blew right over their fucking heads because they're so stupid. One
I mean, it also
nation,
makes
one
sense
race.
that maybe they're like testing waters and seeing like how far they can take it or how far like people have been desensitized to this shit.
I mean, it's possible. It is race car driving, so that is entirely probable, if not possible. Things are bad. Things are going very badly. They're going very badly.
They've been going badly for a while.
It's accelerating, though. But you know what isn't going badly?
What?
Watching a movie. Watching a movie from almost 25 years ago.
Movie's not going bad.
Yeah, it sucks that Leo's not going to be able to watch this movie again on Christmas next year when it turns 25. He's just gonna be
I know.
too old
He'll
for
forget
him.
about it.
Yeah.
He'll
Let's move
detach
on
from
to the
it.
next one. Did you guys like that joke?
So
I
sad.
thought it was a good joke, right?
I
Yes.
liked it.
Thanks.
I liked it the first time.
The first time, like earlier in this episode,
Mhm. Yeah.
well, it's called a callback. This has been going for almost 8 minutes, and so we just have to start doing callbacks right at the very beginning.
Got it. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So, Darian, this is your pick. You picked this movie.
Mhm. I
Are you
did.
have you been a longtime fan of it, or did you just watch it recently? Did you grow up on
I
it?
just watched it no, I watched it for the first time a couple years ago because Hayden had me watch it, and I really liked it instantly. It feels nostalgic, even though I never watched it growing up. It's kind of like a just like a good comfort movie almost.
Kinda depressing, though, how his family, just kinda fell apart before his very eyes.
Oh, yeah, it did, but, like, he persevered
Yeah.
until he didn't.
Did you know has anybody looked into this movie or heard anything about the real guy
Yes.
that
Yeah,
if so, what do you know about him?
I know that well, didn't he write a book about all of this and said that he did all these things before the age of 19 or by the age of 19, and everyone believed it, but it's actually not all that true.
Correct. It's almost 0% true. Like, he didn't do
Yeah,
any
I
of
mean, I don't
this.
know why anyone would have believed this, but
Well, people did believe it for a long time.
I know,
The
and
only
I don't know why.
because they want to believe. I mean,
I mean,
it's
yeah, I
it's a
want to believe.
it's a very ironic and appropriate for this movie that the only true con that he ever pulled off was saying that he was a con man. So
Hmm,
really, he kind of proves his thesis that he could just say that he did all this and everyone would believe him when everything that's in the movie is about
wow,
telling what only thing people believe is what you tell them. And it's true until the internet came out and people could
that's so
actually do
true.
research and figure it out and then tell everyone about it.
Do research, yeah.
But he did,
Man, things
he
must have
made
been
out.
so easy back in the day.
Yeah, before things were electronically connected to each other, you could pretty much do whatever the fuck you wanted. Because I remember
Crazy times.
when I remember when I first got a checkbook when I was like 15 or 16, you could write a check and they would take it and then it would bounce. But there was a certain
Mhm,
point in time in my late teens, early 20s when they started scanning it and basically cashing it electronically right then. So you could write a check, but
mhm,
they would run it through a machine and it would scan it and see if you had money in your bank account. So it was like
mhm,
the same as using a debit card, but just with a piece of paper. And they'd go, "Oh, you don't have money in your account," and
right.
they'd give you your check back. But that
Mm.
wasn't until the late 90s, early 2000s where that became something. And then that didn't last long because everybody quit using checks 5 seconds later.
Yeah, I the idea of checks is crazy. I mean, like, what would you do in those instances? I mean, I guess it has your name on it, right? So they could contact you, but, like, if you went to the grocery store and you were like, "Let me buy all these groceries with a check," and the check bounces, how's that work?
Well, the way it would work is they send it to the bank, and then the bank would um, reject it, basically. And then your bank would charge you a fee, overdraft fee. They'd send the check back to the merchant, and then the merchant would basically send you to collections.
No.
And then they'd put your
I don't
name.
like that because it's like you're keeping track of your money in, like, such a weird way, and it's like, you don't have to cash a check immediately. It's like, let's say I write you a check, and then you don't cash it for, like, a month,
Yeah, that
and I
was why you
forgot.
were supposed to balance your checkbook and write it down on the little ledger thing
Mhm.
so you knew for that
That's such
exact
bullshit. I
reason.
I remember I had to learn how to do that growing
Oh, in
up.
high
I
school?
remember, like, learning how to do that in, like, middle school, elementary
Oh, they
school,
really?
learning how to balance a checkbook, yeah. Yeah, never did that in my life.
Yeah, have you ever had an actual
I did
checkbook?
have a checkbook once.
Did you use
I
the
did.
checks for
My
rent or something?
no,
Or were you buying shit in the real world?
no.
Oh,
Yeah, I was doing that. Yeah, with a debit card.
oh, but not you weren't
But
writing
I had
checks, though.
checks. No, but I had a checkbook, they just gave me one. They're like, "Here you go." I don't even think they do that anymore, do they?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
They
Do
do?
they?
If you open a
Or do you
bank
have to
account, they'll give
request
you a
them?
checkbook? I mean, I know checks exist, but, like, do they just automatically give you a checkbook?
They can give you like blank ones where you can like write your name in on them and stuff. I know Chase does that. And then you can
Mm.
also get like customizable ones with like your name printed on them and Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be where they'd give you a book of blank ones where you would write your own account information in, but within like 2 weeks, you'd get a nice package in the mail with checks in it with your name on
Mm.
it. And you could get custom backgrounds. They'd give you a big catalog to pick which ones you wanted. If you want, you could
I mean,
get your
checks sound kind of
family,
fun.
you could get custom pictures uploaded. You could have like your family on your people to do that. Their family portrait would
There
be
is
on their checks.
there's something about writing a check that's kind of cunty, and I like it. You know, like,
True.
let me sign this. And who should I make it out to? Boop, 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 boop.
I always hated it.
Like-
It was stressful because you didn't want to mess up how you wrote out all the
Mhm.
numbers, the amount of
Mhm.
money, and you're like, oh man, I messed it up. Then you'd have to rip it out and start. You're wasting checks because you were stupid, didn't know how things worked properly. That's how I was.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. What do you think about that, Jaden?
I think that I'm too tired to chime into this conversation.
I know that's why you have to talk. You got to wake your ass up.
If I have something to say, I will say it. Don't do that.
Damn.
I
Perfect.
didn't mean that in a spicy way. I meant that in a don't do that, because then I'm just gonna bring down the episode by not knowing what the fuck you're even talking about.
Did you ever get a checkbook? Did they teach it to you in high school, middle school?
No,
So that
I did
6 year
not get a checkbook.
that 6 year period is when it all went away. Darian, you're probably the last age group of people to get taught anything about that in school.
Hey, I know how to write a check.
Right, but did you get it taught to you in school or did you learn after the fact?
In school, they gave us those little laminated like pieces of paper with like a check, and you had to like fill it out. But like the money, the amount, and then you'd erase it and then do it again.
All right.
Was that like junior achievement or something? Because I don't fucking remember that. Or was it high school? They taught you that in high school?
It was like 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah, it's like middle school.
I have no recollection
Hmm.
of that.
Jaden probably just didn't go that
What
day.
class was this?
Yeah.
Probably in fucking Disneyland or something.
For the 8th
Probably.
time that year.
Well, as it turned out,
What
she
class
wasn't
was
missing
this?
anything important.
History? Then what class? Tell me.
I feel like I learned how to do this at a really young age, like 5th grade. Is like when I learned, because I remember we went on a field trip to what was it called? I thought it was so cool. It was like Economy City or something.
Oh my god, dude! Hell yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, did you go on that field trip too?
Yeah, that shit was sick.
Dude, it
Everyone
was
got like a
so
little
fun.
job.
We were supposed
Yeah.
to go, but our class that year, someone got in trouble and they didn't let us go that year.
Those bastards.
It was so
Well, that-
fucked.
That's so fucked, but it's cute. Like, they gave everyone a job, and you have to be like a functioning member of society. And I feel like we learned how to do the checkbooks and balance checkbooks while, like, before we went, so that when we were there, we could do it. So you'd go to the popcorn place and be like, I want to buy popcorn, and you'd write them a check, and you'd give them the check, and they'd give you the little popcorn. It was cute.
Did you have junior achievement?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's called Biztown.
Okay.
I think Economy
Yeah,
City
we
is
didn't get
better.
that.
I feel like it was called Economy City. Is it maybe the same idea but a different place?
Maybe.
Or maybe they changed the name?
Junior Achievement owned Biztown. Let me see.
Junior achievement owned BizTown? What?
Yeah, Biztown is owned by Junior Achievement.
Junior achievement was like, I don't even remember what you learned in junior achievement. But I remember we had to look at stuff to see like what careers we wanted to do.
Is that where you
Yeah.
took the
My
little
career
quiz?
Yeah, we had to take a quiz and stuff, and I think mine was fashion and interior design.
Perfect. I don't remember what mine was.
Let me sign in real quick and see what mine is.
Oh, I think mine was architect.
We didn't have that.
I'm not an architect. You didn't have architects back then?
We also,
we didn't.
I feel like, had to learn about like branches of government or something. I
Ugh.
think.
What are they? Do you remember?
Judicial branch.
bullshit.
Accurate. Executive, judicial, and legislative.
Whatever subject that is, I hate it.
Civics.
Social
Civics?
studies.
Social studies, yeah. Hate.
Yeah.
History.
Well,
Hate
civics was
history.
one specifically where they talk about the government. Maybe you guys didn't have that.
Yeah, miss me with that.
I loved history and stuff like that when I was in school, but I wasn't very good at it. I would always forget everything.
Dude, I would always forget everything. And it's like, I don't know, history isn't black and white.
But I loved learning about it, and I thought it was interesting, but for some reason I just forgot everything.
That was the only
Honestly,
one that
I
I
did
was good
not.
at.
give a single fuck.
I was good at English
I
for
mean,
some reason.
I was okay at English, but I was only very good at history and reading class. I was pretty good at reading class.
I
Just sit in
wasn't
a
very
room and
good at
read.
reading.
You what?
I wasn't very good at reading.
You know, that
I don't
surprises me.
read. I have a very slow reading pace even now as an adult.
Me too.
Go and tell them. Make fun
I
of me.
have a very slow reading pace now because my brain is shutting down completely.
Yeah.
All right, should we get into this motherfucking movie?
Sure.
It came out on Christmas Day of 2002.
This was a Christmas Day movie? Wow.
Yeah, came out 5 days after Gangs in New York came out. So we were getting Leo overload for Christmas in 2002.
Merry Christmas.
This came out the very day that I got my bass for Christmas and
Nice.
became a rock star for 2 years, 3 years. And by rock star, I mean a complete loser in a shitty band.
God, I was about to change the subject right now. But
Okay.
all right, just real quick. I saw this post on Facebook on Marketplace, and it's like these two Hispanic dudes that are looking for a drummer for a like a Mexican band type thing, but it's like a Gen Z type of, it's like rock mixed with like Mexican music. And I reached out to him just because I was like curious, like if they were still doing it. And he was like, "Oh yeah, no, if you want to come play with us, and you want to come hang out, you can come play like the drums with us, and or like kind of just jam out a little bit." I was like, "Damn, I want to, but I don't have a drum set." So
Damn.
Yeah, you gotta kind of have to have a drum set to be a drummer for the most part.
yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
Should
Yeah,
get
that'd
some
be cool.
electronic drums.
Yeah,
It'd be
He
easier to
does have
move.
drums, but he won't go get them.
yeah.
Well, you
This is
can't
true.
play him there, or
You
could
can.
you? Your concrete walls, will that keep the drum sound from the other apartments? Can you crank it up pretty loud?
Yeah.
Kind of. And if it's too loud for them, I don't fucking care because everyone here sucks. So
You should just start a whole ass band in your apartment, turn into a practice studio.
That'd be funny.
All
I was
right,
just
so
gonna
this
say.
was it's directed by Steven Spielberg, and it's got Tom Hanks, and it's got Leonardo DiCaprio, and the score is by John Williams, who you guys definitely remember from the last time we talked about John Williams, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The most famous movie composer of all time. Jaws, Star Wars,
Mhm.
Indiana Jones, this movie. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun,
So good.
dun, dun, dun.
Yes, that one.
He's the guy. And it starts off with really
Can't think of
cool,
any of the music in this movie.
well, all the music that's playing, especially over the opening credits, that
Yeah,
very much
yeah.
harken back to the
Yeah.
60s, the big old
Mhm.
animated 60s style animated opening credits. That's very Saul
Yeah.
Bass style. Turns out it wasn't inspired by him. The people who made it said it's not him, it's somebody else. Everyone thinks but it was actually this other guy. But I don't believe him. But that's besides the point.
Me neither.
And it starts out after those wonderful credits in media res, and it's Mr. Tom Hanks visiting Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio in French prison, and he's dying. Or wait, no. Does it start off? It does start off with that, right? I'm so fucking tired, you guys.
Yeah. Oh my god. Everyone needs to get together.
did anyone else think that when he was dying and he had the long hair, he looked like Brad Pitt from Interview with the Vampire?
No.
No.
I thought he looked like an
Hell yeah.
Amish neckbeard because he had no mustache. And I thought that was very strange because now he
Huh.
only has a mustache.
Well, I mean, I guess once he shaved, because he didn't have that on the plane. Just had the long
Oh,
hair.
on the plane. I thought you meant when he
And
was.
his eyes were all fucked up.
Yeah, I can see that a little bit.
Weird looking. There was one specific frame where it was more. It looked like him to me.
It looks so.
Well, it either starts out with to tell the truth, or there's some French prison scene. Because when it gets to the end to tell the truth, and they ask him who caught him, and he says Tom Hanks' character's name, who I cannot remember the name of that right now. Hanratty. It cuts back to him in the prison. But that is the one true thing that happened in this movie in real life, is he really was on to tell the truth. That really did happen. That was a real show.
Really was what?
That actually happened. Frank Abagnale was on to tell the truth in the 70s. That's a real show. And he really did do that in real life. So that's probably the only thing in this movie that actually did happen in real life after his book came out.
I thought that this whole movie was based on his story.
You're telling me he didn't pass the bar after studying for only 2 weeks?
No, but he didn't do any of this. He was during the whole time period where he was supposedly pretending to be the pilot and the doctor and everything. He was in prison already for writing $1,500 of bad checks and got arrested and was in jail for this
Oh
whole
my
time
god.
period.
For only $1,500.
Yeah. So basically,
How
when he was
embarrassing.
like, he did run away from home, never saw his dad again. So all the stuff with seeing the dad coming back and visiting him, that never happened. But he
Mhm.
admits that that's in the book. That was just added for the movie. But this whole time period where he was supposedly doing all the shit, he was in prison. So it never happened. They went back
Damn.
and tried to find any tests for the bar exam taken under any of his aliases or any names, and there weren't any. And they went to the hospitals, tried to find somebody who worked there, and there was not even a night shift supervisor position that even
So why didn't they
existed
just make this movie like inspired by? Why'd they act like it was
because
like?
nobody did the
Why'd they
research
give
till
me an
after the movie
update on
came
this
out.
fucking guy at the end?
Because
Yeah, I think at the
this,
time people did
they believed
believe
the
that
book. Yeah.
story, but then
Yeah. Once
So
the
he
movie
did
came
say that
out,
he did all this in the book.
he
yes.
said he did it all,
Right,
but
but
he
he
was
was
full of
lying about
shit.
all of it.
That's
Like
hilarious.
his whole book thing was a total scam. So the only scam that he successfully pulled off was lying about being a scammer, which makes
Poetic.
me think he's very cool, and I like it. And he's not nearly as cool
This
as he
movie
would
was
be.
just a big show of white privilege.
Yeah, basically.
Like that's all that it was.
It's a
Because if this was like anyone but Leonardo DiCaprio, this would
Yeah.
not have flown.
the
That'd be
real
nice.
guy.
What do you mean they gave
Alone.
him a job like that and they just were like, yeah, he's not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave.
I think he does now, or at least did at the time, have a security firm. So that shit's all real because he tricked everyone by everyone thinking that he did all this. I don't think he ever worked for the FBI though. So it's all bullshit. So we have to just take this whole movie with a grain of salt of just being a fake movie.
He also looks absolutely nothing like
I
Leonardo
know the real guy
DiCaprio.
looked like was busted.
He
like
looks more
ass.
like other characters in the movie than Leonardo DiCaprio.
But the only way that any of this makes sense is if it's Leonardo DiCaprio doing it.
I'm looking at him now.
Do you date him? Would you date him?
Do you date him? I
Do you
don't date him.
No, okay. Eli, would
No,
you
I
date
don't
him?
date him.
Depends, with or without the money.
He's
You're
got the
too
one.
old for him now.
You're right. I've been too old for him.
Yeah.
God, he kind of looks like me now. Gross.
No.
Gross. So there's all that jazz with the to tell the truth and the prelude part of him getting out of prison, and then it's the beginning where they're at the Rotary Club banquet where his dad, Frank Sr., is
Mhm.
getting some sort of award for being a member, and he does the famous two mice and a bucket of cream speech.
Mm-hmm.
That is, when you think about it, stupid and not entertaining. But when he does it, it's cool because it's him doing
it's
it.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Come on.
Christopher Walken makes it cool.
Absolutely.
And I
just
didn't
love
notice
watching
it.
him.
I didn't notice it the first time I watched it because I saw this in the theater on probably the day after Christmas. It might have even been on Christmas, I don't remember. But when he does the speech and he is talking about when he goes and introduces everyone, and then when he gets to his son, he's trying to get him to stand up, but everybody cheers really loud for him. Do you think that's his imagination and he's unreliably narrating that everyone cheered really loud for him? Like everyone who in the Rotary Club just loves his son that much that they would cheer that loud? I don't know, it's weird.
To be honest, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Okay. Pay
I mean,
attention.
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, okay, I remember that, but it's not something that made me stop and go,
Well, I watched this twice. I watched it the other day, then I watched it again today. So I noticed it. I'm like, that's weird. Why are they? Because he's trying to he just loves his son so much. And I feel like that is his own wish put into it. How much he loves his dad or how much he wishes his dad loved him. I don't think he really likes him that much in real life.
His dad?
His dad, yeah. I think how much his dad likes him in this movie is some sort of wish fulfillment in his mind.
Yeah.
Because everything in this movie, it was probably him sitting in jail after getting caught writing $1,500 of bad checks, going, how cool would it be if I did all this shit? Because obviously he created it all in his mind.
Be if my dad loved me?
Right. I think that's just one more extra thing that's a lie in his book that made its way into this movie. But then they go home and it's Christmas because this is a Christmas movie. It came out on Christmas, and there's like 4 different Christmases through this movie that they go through. Because there's the first Christmas before everything falls apart when his parents are dancing and his mom spills the wine. That's Christmas. And then later when he calls Tom Hanks. That's on Christmas Eve. And then I think when he gets caught and runs home, when he goes home to visit his mom, that's on Christmas when he escapes out of the
This
plane.
is a Christmas movie. You're
Yeah.
right.
It's true.
I'm gonna start watching this every Christmas.
The sneaky Christmas movie. So yes, it's
Sneaks right in there.
Christmas, mom's drunk, spills the wine, and then it's the scene where they have to go get him a suit. And that's where we first get oh ma'am, did you drop this necklace? It must have slipped right off your neck. And they get the suit and go to the bank in the car, and he's pretending to be a chauffeur and he can't drive. And the bank tells him to fuck off because they're not dumb.
Right.
And then his whole world starts falling apart.
Yeah. Because they have to move out of their house
And move into
an apartment.
an admittedly very nice apartment. It's huge. I wouldn't mind that apartment.
Yeah. The mom is not having it. She's not appreciating it.
No, the French gold digging whore mom doesn't like it.
She starts sleeping with one of his friends.
With Thanos' dad,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
James Brolin,
Really?
who is Josh Brolin's dad.
And Leo catches on to that, and he does not appreciate that either.
He does. He certainly doesn't. And this is
Certainly
basically
not.
then his mom pays him off for, just don't tell your dad. Here's $5 for some records, some
It's
record
so
albums.
awkward to me.
Here's 10. Just don't tell your dad. This is not a big deal. Don't worry about it. You're not going to
You
tell him,
won't tell
right?
him because there's nothing to tell.
There's nothing to tell. I'm just a French whore. Don't worry about it. I mean, clearly she is a gold digger because she moved. The only reason she got together with him is to move to the United States in the first place, to get out of war-torn France. And then the second that he can't provide for her, she kicks him to the curb. So I don't think it was ever love in the first place. She probably thought he was charming, so she picked him out of the other guys, even though he didn't speak a word of French.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that sucks.
Did anyone else think it was weird the way when it was the scene where the dad was kind of talking about that and dancing with the mom when she spills the wine? And Leo was like, "Yeah, mom, you were so hot." I don't remember the exact words that they used.
Yeah, he just would
I
repeat
was like,
everything
"What the fuck?"
from the story that he's heard 5,000 times, the same exact story.
Yeah.
Am I turning into that? Do I just tell the same story every time over and over again? Am I that bad?
No.
I hope I'm not that bad
You
yet.
just tell every story very slowly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going as fast as my brain will work, so I'm sorry. The crazy thing is he's probably only
You can't help it.
40 years old, supposedly, probably like 40, 42 in this movie, because it's 20 years after World War II ended. Not even that long yet, because he's 16. So I think it's 1964 when the movie starts. So it's only been like 19 years since the end of World War II. And he probably got out when he was 22-ish. So he's probably only 40 years old in this movie, approximately.
That's crazy.
It's weird to think.
Old fart.
Yeah, basically that's my grandpa's age, and Frank is my dad's age, 2 years older than my dad. This makes me old as shit, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So I'm 10 years older than Christopher Walken in this movie, and I don't like it. And that's why my brain don't work so good. That's why my stories are
You don't look
very
10 years
slow.
older than Christopher Walken in this movie. It makes you feel better.
I wonder how old he is in this movie.
So anyway,
Look it up.
then
Then what?
then his parents decide that they're getting divorced, and they tell Frank with a lawyer there. I thought this was so weird that they just told him with a lawyer present as soon as it was like happening. And it was like, all right, you have to make this decision now. Who do you want to live with? Just, it's fine. Just put a name down. Who do you want to live with?
Back then, they didn't have shared custody. They didn't have that worked out when divorces happened. It was basically you had to go with one or the other. Weirdly
I get it.
enough,
Sounds complicated.
probably why he's 58, by the way, in this movie.
See,
Looking pretty good for 58, though.
Yeah. But Frank just can't take it. He can't take this choice. So what does he do? He literally runs away.
Whitest thing ever.
Yeah.
Nope. Before that, though, was the very good scene of him going to he went to his new school and pretended to be the substitute teacher.
Oh, yes. He's getting bullied.
He's getting bullied, and he walks in and just hears that there's a substitute. So he just does his first scam, basically, and pretends
And he
to be
doesn't
the
just
teacher.
do it like for an afternoon. He does it for like 2 weeks.
Until he gets caught. And
Yeah.
parents get called into the principal's office and tell the whole story, which I thought is a very good edit, and then they were walking out, and this is another thing that goes to where I think this is all just complete. I mean, it's obviously bullshit, but I think it's all in his head. I think this is all a dream, where his dad they laugh as they're walking out. He's like, "Oh, good scam, son. I've taught you well."
Yeah, but I mean, I
I
could
mean, it was
believe
a good
it. If
scam.
To be honest, if my kid did that, I would probably laugh too.
I
That's
would too.
funny.
I would think that was hilarious because 'cause you're learning
I would
life
just be really
skills.
impressed. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
The only part that I didn't like is that he didn't do, because I'd assumed that he felt empowered to do that because he knew French because his mom's French.
Mhm.
So I wish that he would have spoken some French at some point
Mm.
in there, just to, like, kinda show off and,
Yeah.
like, prove that that's why he felt comfortable doing it because he actually spoke enough French that he could pass as a
Yeah.
French teacher.
That's a good point because I didn't even realize that.
That's what I was expecting because I didn't remember that from seeing it 25 years ago, but when I was watching, I'm like, "Oh, he must know French, so he's gonna talk a little French for him because his mom's French, and that's why he feels."
He's gonna talk a little French.
But he doesn't do it. I wonder if they were gonna do that
Oui,
and he just
oui.
could what if he just couldn't do it well enough
Mm,
and they had to cut that out because he wasn't doing it good enough, like Leo couldn't fake being a French speaker well enough to put it in the movie? That's probably what happened
yeah.
because I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, they fucked up.
They did.
Do you
Get
like I've seen this clip so many fucking times on TikTok, like back in my
Mhm.
TikTok days. It's just like the only thing that people will play because it's like badass Leonardo DiCaprio moments. And it's like number one.
Really?
I've definitely seen it on TikTok
Yeah.
too, this scene. And everyone's like, "What show is this?
Yeah, for real.
What show is this?" Uh,
Goddamn people. They don't even know that movies exist. What show is fuck off. But
but
then,
yeah.
yes, now it's the part where he gets
But
home
then
and
he's running
oh,
away, he's
but
going
f but first he goes in and he thinks that his mom's fucking that dude again because he sees the jacket, and then he runs away.
well, yeah, but it was the lawyer.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yep,
he
yep, 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 yep.
takes his checkbook and starts his life of crime by writing bad checks at hotels and gets kicked out.
Mhm. Yeah. He says, "Where am I supposed to go?" And he says, "You're a kid, Frank. Go home."
Go home, you dumb shit.
But he can't go home.
I
He
mean, he
can't go home
can.
because he can't decide who he wants to live with. No, he can't decide. It's just an impossible decision.
Oh, I guess that's right,
Just
huh?
pick
I
your
didn't even
dad.
consider that. That is probably why. That's the whole point of why he runs away because he doesn't want to pick, huh? That didn't even occur
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. What'd you
Interesting.
think? He ran away.
I thought he just didn't was just so distraught by the fact that they were getting divorced that he just took off. Not that he couldn't decide on who to pick, but that makes perfect sense, and you're right. I'm
Yeah.
dumb.
I mean, I think it was both. No,
Should
I
just
think both things can
he
be true.
should have just gone with his dad.
That's
Or
what I'm
really
saying.
should
Like, just
just
pick your dad. It's
really
not
he
like it
should have
means
just
you will never see your mother again.
I mean, in reality, he should have gone with his mom because she's having a much better life.
Yeah. Yeah. She is.
He could have grown up to be James Brolin. No, that is James Brolin.
But
Now I can't think of who Thanos is. Fuck. My brain is so gone.
let's see.
And then he's, like, sleeping somewhere, and he sees the pilot
Mhm.
walk in, and I just don't believe ever that there was a world where little kids were asking pilots for autographs. I don't think that ever
False.
happened.
I actually learned this.
That really happened?
Actually learned this. Yes, back in the
I could
day
believe it.
when airplanes were like first coming up, it was a huge thing to like congratulate and like show your utmost respect to pilots for flying these incredible machines that just came out. And they'd be like people would like buy them drinks and like get them food and treat them like celebrities. It's actually crazy.
I kinda
That's
believe it
insane.
because, like, if I'm on a flight and I leave and the pilot's sitting there, I'm like, "Ooh, I'm starstruck. Like, you got us here. That's great. You flew this aircraft? That's crazy. Thank you."
I feel
They're
like it's
just
more impressive back in the day because we don't have they didn't have all the technology we have now. Like now it's just like you just throw that bitch on autopilot and it goes, you know?
they're just
But back in the
glorified
day,
bus drivers, for God's
oh,
sake.
yeah,
Oh
for
my
real.
gosh, no. But yeah, but no, I believe it.
Nobody sees a Greyhound bus driver standing outside the bus station and gets their autograph. I think that's pretty rude.
I feel like the vibe too is that flying used to feel like more of a luxury, you
Well,
know?
yeah, you got
Now it's like
eclairs.
you go on a flight and you're just getting crammed into a seat. Here's some stale pretzels and shut the fuck up. And
I mean,
back then it was like
when you really think about it, being a Greyhound bus driver is so much harder than being a pilot because you got to drive that fucking bus for like 12 straight hours in the middle of the night by yourself. And in a plane, you're going for what, like 4 or 5 hours, and you have a co-pilot and another guy to hang out with and bullshit with, and flight
Yeah.
attendants to come bring you shit. Everyone's
Yeah.
kissing your
and
ass.
there are flights that are much longer than 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, but flying across America, it's
But
like,
yes, you have a co-pilot, sure.
right, international flights, but they weren't really doing so many international flights back then. And I'm sure they took turns.
Yeah.
You know, being a bomber pilot in World War II, now that's respectable. But just flying an
Yeah, right.
airplane around, whatever. Try being a truck driver. That shit's
Imagine if
hard.
you had to drive your truck in the sky. That sounds crazy.
I wish I could drive my truck in the sky. I'd get there a lot faster. I wouldn't have to worry about dumb other people on the fucking road. I'd just put it on autopilot and zone out.
Watch a movie.
Yeah. You know how hard it is to watch a movie and drive a truck through the mountains at the same time?
Anyway,
Shit's hard.
Eli, I was gonna say you should just not go to flight school. You should just pretend to be a pilot and just fake it till you make it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
just
told
skip over
Jaden.
all
I
that
was like,
shit.
"There's no point."
Let's get really good at forging. Put all that
Stupid. Learn
time
on the
that you
job.
would put into learning how to do it and just put it into forging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get one of those. Go to one of those auctions and get one of those fucking typewriter things. I
A
don't remember what they're
meter.
fucking called, but yeah.
A meter. So he gets the bright idea to become a pilot. So he scams his way into getting an interview with the head of Pan Am, or a guy who works at Pan Am, who tells him all the tips. Just basically asks a bunch of questions about everything he needs to do to become a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives him his what is it? Basically his pilot's license, his expired pilot's
Yeah, his
license.
ID.
So he can forge it, modify it to his own name. And then he pulls this another scam about how to get himself a uniform, and then he's off to the races.
Yep.
And this is all
It's
just
that
so he can
simple.
cash checks as a pilot, not even to
Yeah.
get free flights. The only reason he gets the free
No.
flight is because he learns that he can cash checks at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, are you my deadhead?" Which is what?
Yep.
In the trucking industry, deadheading is when you drive without a load.
Okay.
So I wonder if they stole that from
Reload
trucking or if
this.
trucking stole it from
The
them.
load.
Yeah, when you're
How do they
empty,
know if you emptied your load?
well, you just look for cum everywhere, and then if there's cum everywhere, then you've emptied your load.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, so if I I deadheaded from Billings back to home the other day. So because I unloaded all over Billings, and then I drove home empty,
Christ.
and that was dead.
God, it's everywhere.
It's all over. They're
All over
still cleaning
Billings.
up in Billings right now.
You guys are sick.
I know. Cut this out.
Thank you.
This is weird. I don't know what that means, but I
Deadhead?
used context clues that he was like, because he was like the third pilot, you know?
He wasn't the
just sitting
pilot at
there.
all. He wasn't even in that airline.
Right.
It's just
Co-pilot.
basically if you have to get a pilot from one place to another and there's an empty jump seat on the plane, they just let pilots hop in there for free
Got it.
to get where they need to go.
Got it. So then what did he do when he got there? Right? Like he got there
And then
and
he
then how'd he get back?
just deadheads to another, just does it again to go somewhere else. But he went to LA and then he started writing checks in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just kind of went all over, because he would just go all over cashing checks at different airports is what I think he was doing.
It's
So he's just
crazy
deadheading across all over to different airports, just cashing checks.
crazy that he was just taking the stickers off of those airplanes, those model airplanes, soaking them in the tub and putting them on there.
True.
How did he
pretty
know
genius.
how did he know what the checks for Pan Am look like?
I think that he probably just invented that, is my guess.
I think there was a part in the movie where I think it was that lady or something. She like explained to him what all the things look like and how they work, and you know how you can tell the difference between them, because he like wooed her pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think I remember a part of that.
Well, that was where he was learning about all the routing numbers and how to scam more effectively. But I don't think, I suppose that he could have seen a Pan Am, but he's already had Pan Am checks when he went there. He was already making them.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
started
True.
when he met Elizabeth Banks. Oh, but before that, on his very first deadhead flight is when he met Grey's Anatomy
Oh yeah.
and pulled the necklace trick with her.
Mm,
And I
mhm.
think that's the first time he lost his virginity, if I had to guess.
If I had to guess.
If I had to guess, because he said it's the best date that he's ever been on. Let's go. Let's go to
Okay, what
this.
happens next?
What happens next?
He does this for a while, and he
Yeah, it's
makes lots of
basically him.
money, and then he meets up with his dad, and he's like, "Dad, I'm a pilot, and you and mom get to fly for free, so tell her to pack a swimsuit, like, you guys should get back together."
And I
Also, is this when he buys the car?
Yeah, that's when he's like,
"I
"Here's I
bought
got
you a
you a little present."
car." And the dad's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I'm wanted by the IRS. I'm
What do
taking
you
the
think
bus home."
what do you think the IRS would do if they knew I was driving around in a new Cadillac? I rode the train here, and I'm riding the train home.
Mhm.
And then he glazes a little bit about everybody here's looking at you,
Yeah.
just imagining what exotic place you're gonna go next. And back then, I suppose they probably were doing cool shit when they got to places, but now I feel like they just land and sleep in an airport Hilton. They don't actually go into
Yeah.
town and do anything cool,
Yeah. For sure.
but maybe not. Have you
I
guys
mean, maybe if
seen
you have, like, time, I just don't know how much time these pilots have.
Probably not very much. Have you guys haven't watched the 2nd season of The Rehearsal yet with Nathan Fielder?
Mm-mm.
Mm.
So it's all about you should get Eli, especially you would love it because it's all about airline pilots. But you kinda have to see the 1st season. You don't have to, but you should watch the 1st season first. It's a sort of a reality show, but not really. I mean, it is, but it's the 2nd season's all about airline pilots, and there's a lot of their lives look pretty shitty these days. It's not very glamorous.
Yeah. And I have been watching like a lot of because like it just doesn't seem right to spend a lot of money in something that I might hate. So I've been watching a lot of like days in the life of these people, and it looks pretty chill. Um, there are days where they like the first 2 years is like everyone says that it sucks so bad because you're basically getting whatever they throw at you for like the first year. So you could be in the middle of your break, like your 10-day, 15-day break, and they could just call you in the middle of your 15-day break, and then you have to go and do whatever, right? But like sometimes they do get to stay in cities for like 19 hours, 20 hours, just to like wait for their next flight. So you kind of get like a cool 10 hours to just go see a city for like a day and then just head back to wherever you're going, which I mean seems pretty cool.
It's probably a lot like truck driving where I sometimes find myself being stuck in a city for 10 hours, 20, well, always 10 hours, but sometimes a couple days if I don't have a reload. And I'm just staying in my truck the whole time because
Yeah.
getting somewhere is such a pain in the ass. So I got to imagine getting from the airport to go do something cool probably seems like a giant pain in the ass. 'Cause you have to rent a car, get an Uber or whatever, and
Yeah.
then you're spending all this extra money, but they probably make a lot more money. So maybe, but I'll bet you
Yeah.
most of them just
I
end up sitting in
I
a
did see
hotel
that they
room
do
for a
have
day.
like True. Yeah, I did see that they do have like this thing where like it's like a I don't know if it's for everything or if it's just to get from the hotel to the airport, airport to the hotel and stuff like that. But they do have like a pilot shuttle, and I don't know where it all takes them. I haven't figured that part out yet, but there's a shuttle that you don't have to pay for when you go and do stuff. And apparently like you don't always stay right next to the airport either. Sometimes they'll keep them like an hour away from the airport, like in like a nice city or like wherever there's an availability for like one nights and stuff.
That's good. That's
Seems
nicer.
pretty cool.
I
But
just imagine them, they just get off the plane and get on the airport Hilton shuttle bus and go to the Hilton next to the airport and sleep and then go back to the
yeah,
airport and leave. I'm trying to make it seem less
true.
cool to justify my own life and why it is it's not any better than what I do because their lives suck too, but it's probably a
It's
lot
true.
better. So now he is in Miami at his apartment, just basically spending his money and being a playboy. Is somebody at his party falls and breaks their arm or something, and that's when he goes to the hospital to visit his pal. And Amy Adams is working there and getting yelled at by a doctor. So he goes and pulls the
Mhm.
scam on her. And that's how he becomes a doctor. Is by he asks her, "They have any openings there? I am a doctor." And then he
That's
watches
so
some.
insane.
He forges a Harvard diploma and gets a job as the night manager of the doctors.
Do you concur?
This is where I was saying, this is where we're at in the movie. Do you concur? Am I right? Do you concur?
Do you concur?
And after this movie came out, I would say that for about a year, I was saying that every time I said anything, I would ask everyone if they concurred, and nobody knew what I was talking about.
He's like, right, well, I think you guys got this. And then he goes and throws up everywhere.
I like how he kept putting like the sterile like little cotton thing on his mouth.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, what the
It's like,
fuck?
hmm.
Mhm.
And so he starts a relationship with Amy Adams, and he finds out that she had an abortion and her parents disowned her. And he goes, "Well,
Mhm.
what if we got married? Would we be able to visit your parents then?" So they go to Atlanta, I believe is where she's at. And she gets introduced to Martin Sheen as the dad, and he's a real weirdo. And they're all
Yeah.
weird, obviously, because they made it Amy Adams and she's real weird. But in this movie, not in real life, but in this movie, they're all super Christian
Yeah.
Lutherans and they're
Mhm.
hanging out having dinner. And he basically goes, "Oh, I actually went to law school too. And I passed the bar in California, but I've decided to just do my doctor shit." And we're supposed to believe that this actually happened in real life in his book. And it's completely insane.
There's
But
just no way.
there's just no way.
He's 19.
Exactly. But remember, I don't know if you guys noticed when he changed his ID, he made himself 10 years older. He changed it from 48 to
Oh,
38
really?
at the very beginning. That's like the very first thing he did
Hmm.
with his driver's license that he
Okay.
got in the mail. So he's 27-ish. Everyone thinks he's 27.
Okay. That makes more sense.
So, I mean, I suppose it's plausible that if you were smart enough to be a doctor at Harvard, you could have busted out some law school in 2 years, I guess.
I guess.
If
And
you were
well, I guess they didn't know he was a pilot or was pretending
no,
to be a pilot.
no, they just thought he was a doctor.
Because
'Cause
I'm
he
like,
complete
all three is crazy.
Because he completely abandoned the pilot thing when he got to the hospital.
Yeah.
Until he tried to go back.
Yeah, that was at the very end, though. He
Yeah.
he supposedly passes the bar exam and starts in that scene where does that whole dissertation when you think he's in with a bunch of people and the judges, "Don, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is a preliminary hearing. Just me and you. Are you stupid?" And then they have an engagement party, and then Hanratty shows up and he gets his suitcases full of money and jumps out the window and takes off and tells
I
her
thought it was
or
funny how, like, he was like, "I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not Lutheran, I'm not," and she was like, "You're not Lutheran?"
"You're not Lutheran?" She's so
After
stupid.
everything.
And he tells her to meet him at the Miami airport the next day to drive through the night at 10 o'clock, and they'll take all the money and fly and go live their life somewhere else.
Mhm.
So she obviously tells her parents about it, and they get her to do a little sting operation, little honey traps and bait. And he
Mhm.
susses it all out when someone whispers in her ear, one of the agents. And I just can't possibly imagine with all these dudes looking that just some random fucking guy that fits his description, just hanging out in the parking lot, looking around everywhere, he wouldn't have been spotted.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, and he leaves, and then he pulls another huge scam. Oh, he goes back to being a pilot one more time, and he pulls the scam with
Mhm.
all the stewardesses in training,
Right.
Yeah.
and that part's pretty funny when he's doing the little interviews, and the one who said, "We're flying at 6,000 miles an hour at 300 feet elevation." That made me laugh.
Coming in hot.
Pretty funny to see an airliner flying 300 feet at 6,000 miles an hour,
No, it would not.
Terrifying.
just
No, it would
blowing out
not.
every window in the world while it's on fire, just flying through a couple times around the earth in an hour. But he uses all the sexy high school girls to get through the airport
Okay, you
because they're
can't
all
say
just
that.
because all actually, I don't think it's a high school. I think it's like a college, like a
I
training,
think
like
so.
yeah.
Mhm.
So all the agents are just checking out all the broads as they're walking through, and he's got his sunglasses on, his hat down, and he just walks through them all, gets on a plane, and takes off for Europe. And I feel like this is another missed opportunities. They don't show him doing anything in Europe
Yeah.
because then it's pretty
Like
much,
what?
I don't know, just partying with all these like having a party that he pulled it all off or whatever.
Mhm.
It's just they walk through the airport and then that part's over. Could have been some fun stuff.
Could have been, but this movie was already 2.5 hours long.
That's true. That's true.
So then Frank starts printing more checks in Europe, right?
Yeah.
And Tom Hanks, what's his name?
Hand ratty.
He's still looking for him, and his boss is like, "If you couldn't catch him here, you can't catch him there." And he like talks to other people that know a lot about checks and forging checks, and they're like, "The only way that someone could print this is with a professional printing thing." And everyone's like, "Yeah, like Paris, in Paris, in Paris." And they're all like, "Yeah, in Paris." And so that's how he knows to go there.
Well, he has his one little guy look at his notes from when they talked to his mom about the town that she was from.
That too.
And that's how they decide that it's in France somewhere.
Mhm. Mhm.
So he shows up at, and Leo has bought an entire building's worth of printing equipment.
He's manic.
He's having a manic episode printing up all these checks.
A lot of checks.
A lot of checks, which seems pretty crazy to me, but I mean, he had
And
all
then
that money.
Hanratty's like, "Yeah."
But yes, basically, he's like, hand ready. He's like, hey, all the entire French police force is outside, and if I don't bring you out, they're going to kill you. And Leo thinks that he's bullshitting him
Mhm.
and doesn't believe him. And then he does eventually go out with him, and there's nobody out there. And he's like, you got me. You were fucking lying. I trusted you.
Mhm.
And then 10,000 cops show up.
Yeah, and there's people like in the choir just singing. I'm like, they didn't stop singing watching all of this go down. They looked concerned, but they kept singing, so good for them.
Well, you know what they say about the French is the show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
But in French, of course. Of course.
Of course.
And then they fly over, and he tells them that his dad's dead, and he's real bummed out about that.
And he
But
won't share
before
his
that
eclair.
he's like, give me half the eclair, I'll tell you how I passed the bar exam. And he
The
just
man's
shoves the whole thing in his mouth. Like a greedy little
the
pig.
man's dad died, and he's going away, and you couldn't share half your eclair.
I
Come on.
know. And he's dying
Share the
too.
eclair, bud.
Dying of
Yeah.
pneumonia or bronchitis or consumption or some shit.
It was really
French
bad.
consumption.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets sentenced to a shit ton of time. Why would he have to go into solitary confinement?
Yeah, that was fucked up. Because I think it was like 15 years. And I was like, okay, that's actually not that bad. 15
but
years, that's not bad. But in solitary
yeah,
confinement,
they don't put people in solitary confinement for financial crimes. You have to be
I
a
think it's
violent offender.
yeah, I think it was because he was like, he's so good at scamming that we can't have him around other people because he's gonna persuade some shit to happen and he's gonna escape. Like they're like, he needs to
I
just
guess. Oh, we missed the part where he escaped through the toilet and went through the bottom of the
oh my
plane
gosh, that was cool. And then he goes and sees his mom and she has like a new family.
Yeah.
with the little kid. And they
Mhm.
took that, they stole that from Commando, by the way. That
I haven't
exact
seen that.
thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. He
Mm.
does the exact same thing where he doesn't go through the toilet. He just goes through and gets out through the luggage and drops out through the plane, takes off in the exact same way.
It's
But he
funny.
commandos it.
Interesting.
And then they all show up and arrest him, and then he gets sentenced to prison. And then Handready comes to visit him and is talking about a case. And he's like, hey, let me take a look at that check. And he uses his forging expertise to help him. And then Handready convinces his boss to come back, and he does the same shit, shows how cool he is at forging. And they give him a job, and he shows up for a day, and he hates it. And he's walking around, going home one day, and he sees an airline pilot uniform in the window. And then he's gonna go leave. He's gonna take off. And Handratty's there at the airport. Says, you can go. No one's chasing you, but you're going to come back. And that should have been the end of the movie right there. It should have been left
You think so?
ambiguous on whether or not he came back or not. But that's not what happens. There's a whole scene where they're at the office on Monday and he's not there. And then they show some shoes walking in and then it's not him. And then he's still not there and he's still not there. And then he's there. He's like, let me take a look at that check.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
don't
the end of the
know.
movie.
Maybe I lack whimsy, but I don't like ambiguous endings. Like, just tell me what happened because I'm gonna stress about it.
I think that you should watch more movies with ambiguous endings and use your imagination.
Every time I watch them, I'm like frustrated because I'm like, I just want to know what happens. I don't want it to be up to my interpretation. I don't know why that is. 'Cause
They
if you think about it, that's kinda like the best way to end a movie because everyone's happy, you know? You just pick whatever way you want it to be, but to me, it's like I don't know, it's not certain.
This had an ambiguous ending. I feel like it's pretty
No,
like,
it
should
wasn't.
No,
anything get
It
he was saying if they ended it right there where it was we were unsure if he was gonna come back or not, that would be
yeah,
an
right at
ambiguous
if it would have
ending.
Gotcha.
ended at the
Okay.
airport with him with the pilot uniform on, and
But
that
that
was the
just
end
would
of
have
the movie.
annoyed me, like, I'm
Yeah.
glad that they showed him coming back.
Alright. I didn't hear the whole thing then. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I do like when a story is like, also, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what you aren't gonna see because it would make this movie 4 hours long and so on. You
Mhm.
know? That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, it was all bullshit anyway because none of this actually happened, so it's all
Right.
kind of
But, like, just
ambiguous.
as a movie, it's fine, you know? This
Oh,
didn't
it's a
have
great
to be a
movie.
true story,
No, I
to
know.
be a good movie.
I think he did
Ooh.
actually all the shit that was in the text ending about creating the checks and all that kind of stuff and having a security firm. I think
Mhm.
that's all true or somewhat true
Mm.
because he does have a security firm and everything.
It's funny.
So he did
Hmm.
I
parlay
did
it, his bullshit story that he made up into an actual multi-million dollar company, security company.
That's what I was talking to Jaden about, and we laughed at this. How like we could only imagine what it would be like if this like the person that did this was brown. Like would they also open a security company? Would they also only get 15 years in solitary confinement and got an opportunity to work for the FBI? Or is this just like, because he's white and it's a white crime that he committed? Does he
You
like
don't
get
think
all
brown
these
people
like
can do
little
check fraud?
things? They're really bad at it.
You
They're
know,
fucking horrible at it.
yeah, there's no way in
But
hell that he would have been able to pull all that shit off, but no one really pulled it off in the first place. So you can't really say you can't call out racism on it because it didn't actually happen because he didn't really do it in real life. But if you're 100% correct that the only way that this could possibly happen is if it was a very handsome looking Leonardo DiCaprio white guy is the only one that would have gotten away with it,
yeah,
especially in the
that's true.
60s.
I don't think he would have gone as far as like being believed that he was an airline pilot from the
No,
very
no,
beginning.
but there's
They would have
no
been like,
possible way
No.
that a brown person would have gotten away with maybe like a very debonair, like, Spanish guy who was pretending to be,
yeah,
like, Spanish royalty or something like that.
yeah,
Maybe, like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like an Antonio
yeah,
Banderas type guy could have maybe gotten away with it.
yeah. That makes sense.
Possible. Especially in the '60s because Ricky Ricardo was very popular back then, and if you could portray yourself as, like, a Latin lover type guy, you probably could have gotten away with some scams back then. I think possible, but not the whole part about getting hired by the FBI. That never would have happened to anybody but a white guy.
Yeah,
They could have I think a brown guy could have pulled these scams throughout the movie. Maybe not the pilot part, but just pulling scams, writing bad checks and shit like that. I think that could happen.
yeah, true.
But, Leo is Italian, so that counts, right? DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio. And he's, half French. That's European. That counts too, right? Are French people considered white?
I
Yes.
mean,
Oh,
in
okay.
my book, they are.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I feel like it's up to interpretation.
No, I completely agree with you. This is a movie of white privilege.
Yeah, I was also thinking how funny it was when you said how because like the entire time I really did think that he pulled a lot of this shit off, and then just now when he told me that he didn't pull like any of this off and whatever, I was thinking it was just like another Mulholland Drive thing where like it's like hoping and wishing that this is what would have happened,
It
and in
is.
reality, he's just dreaming all of it.
It is, in retrospect, a Mulholland Drive thing. Because you had to imagine that he came up with all of this shit while he was in jail. And the first time, imagining how he wishes that all of this would have gone
It's crazy.
and what got him in jail in the first place is if he had this awesome life where he's doing all this cool shit. And then he got caught, as opposed to just getting caught for $1,500 worth of fucking check for not going to prison. You're not buying. We skipped over the whole part where he turned into James Bond and scammed the prostitute for $400 in
Yeah,
the hotel room.
it's true. That did make me laugh. At that point, did he prostitute himself?
Technically, yeah, he did. He prostituted himself and pulled the con all at the same time. because he made $400 off that. Technically, I guess he lost 1,000 because he could have cashed that check for 1,400. So he did technically. I mean, she probably cashed it and got the $1,000. I would imagine. I'm sure it worked for her
True.
too. She may have gotten caught later for doing it because she probably would have cashed it under her real name.
Yeah.
So she probably got
True.
busted for cashing a bad check later instead of disappearing like he did. But she probably got that $1,000 or she probably got that money back for a short time. But she probably used white lady privilege to get out of trouble. All right. Well, there's a very certain specific series of questions that Darian has to ask everyone now.
Okay. Dad, was
Yes.
this movie worth the watch?
Yes,
Again,
it was.
because you watched it when it first came out, right?
Yeah, I do enjoy this movie. I remember sort of being disappointed, not hating it, but not thinking it was as great as I was expecting it to be when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd seen The Gangs in New York the week before, and I thought that fucking ruled. But this one cost half as much money to make, and it made twice as much money as Gangs in New York.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was so it was a huge hit, made a shit ton of money,
Yeah.
and it didn't cost that much to make. And this time watching it, or watching it now, the 2 times I watched it, I really picked up on how good it looked, just the cinematography and the lighting and everything. Just every scene
Mhm.
was beautiful in all the shots. And Steven Spielberg's blocking, the way that he just moves the camera around to where everyone's at, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Just not shit that I
Yeah.
was picking up on 25 years ago. It's just so good looking. So yeah, I loved it. Christopher Walken's great. He got nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and John Williams got nominated for Best Score. Those are the only 2 Oscar nominations that it got in 2003. They didn't win, but they got nominated. And yeah, it's a really good movie. It was a good pick. I
Thank you.
enjoyed watching it twice.
How many fraudulent checks would you give it?
I give it 4 fraudulent checks. 4
Ooh,
fraudulent checks.
let's go. I just remembered a scene that we didn't talk about when they were at that hotel when Tom Hanks was like first trying to figure out who he was, and he convinced him that he was an FBI agent
Oh, the Secret
and
Service agent.
escaped. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, that part was very
That was a
good.
good one. It's a good
I
scene.
trust you.
Yeah, and that was the callback to all the peeled off labels, which was in the very, very first scene when they were at the
Yes, when he was
Rotary Club and he was
peeling off
pulling the bottle off
the
the wine bottle.
Mhm. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, it's a good scene. Okay,
Which is
anyway.
probably why he thought to get the label off of the airplanes in the first place, because he's been pulling stickers
Mhm.
off all this whole time.
Kid
All
loves
the
stickers.
labels.
True.
Jaden, you've been talkative.
Um,
Wake up, Jaden. You have some
leave
questions
me
to answer
alone.
for.
Hey, pretty girl. It's time to wake up.
What's the question?
Was it worth the watch?
Yes, I liked it a lot. I think. Sorry, my throat hurts so bad right now. As problematic as Leonardo DiCaprio is, I do love him and everything. So
It's so true. He's problematic, but he is the GOAT, and you just have to respect it.
I just everything. I love him and everything.
He's very
But
good.
yeah, I really liked it. It was very entertaining. I would probably give it 4 fraudulent checks.
I feel like I just won. I just won the fucking lottery. Jaden liked my pick. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, don't let her lack of
Woo.
enthusiasm on this recording episode throw off how much you like this movie. It's a totally different
She's tired
situation.
and her throat
She's just
hurts.
tired.
Eli, Ellie,
Yep.
worth the watch?
Hell yeah. I like this movie, and I think I first watched this movie through TikToks and just a bunch of like badass little bits of this movie. And I was like, I definitely scrolled through like someone's account to like watch the rest of the parts.
Just watch this
But
entire movie on TikTok.
yeah. And yeah, but it's a really good movie. It keeps you locked in, and it's, I don't know, it just kind of makes me want, like, watching it now that I do want to become a pilot. I'm like, yeah, this seems really cool. Like, traveling and doing stuff and kind of like feeling that sense of, pride or whatever with what he actually does, but like in a newer version and without all the bullshit, right? But I really like this movie. I like the concept of it, and I don't. Is there other movies that kind of have the same plot as this, or is this like
Yeah, there are. There's The Grifters, there's The Matchstick Men. The Sting is probably the best con movie. Are you talking cons or airplanes?
Yeah, I think cons. I think I would want to watch more con movies because it's just I
Yeah,
like them.
con man
Love a
movies
con.
are great. So yeah, Matchstick Men is really good. The Grifters is really good. The Sting's really good. I mean, really, the Oceans movies. Have you seen those? Those are con movies for the most part.
I've heard of some of them, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to watch more of those. But I really did like it. It was a really good pick this time, Darian.
Yay! I
How
win.
many how many
Yeah.
How
checks?
many
How many
fraudulent checks?
fraudulent checks are you giving it?
Probably gonna give it 3 fraudulent checks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Get
not
the fuck
fucking
out
with
of
you.
here.
I'm gonna give it 4.5 because I really did like it.
Yay.
Good
And
scores.
I
So
will also give it 4.5 fraudulent checks.
that makes it
Yep.
a 4.25, if my head math is correct. So that
Yup.
does make it a very important movie. So congratulations to Steven Spielberg. You are in the hallowed halls of the V.I.M.P, Very Important Movie Podcast. Congratulations.
Woo.
If you want to see Leonardo DiCaprio actually flying airplanes, you should watch The Aviator, which came out a few years after this, where he is the titular aviator. He is playing Howard Hughes, who flew a lot of airplanes and pissed in a lot of bottles.
Oh,
Do you guys know who
okay.
Howard Hughes is?
No.
He was this crazy guy who got into airplane manufacturing and ended up creating this huge aerospace company. But he also went completely insane and ended up living on the top floor of a hotel with crazy OCD and manic delusions where he didn't leave the room, and he hired a bunch of Mormon dudes to be his protectors and run his company because they're the only ones that he could trust, even though he wasn't Mormon. And he also
Man.
made the most expensive movie ever made called Wings. It was like a World War One aviation movie that cost probably I think adjusted for inflation, it's still the most expensive movie ever made because he was using
Damn.
like hundreds of real airplanes for dogfight battles and scenes and shit like that. And that's all in the movie.
Jesus.
He built the Spruce Goose, which was this giant. It's still the biggest airplane ever made. It was a seaplane. It was gigantic, and it used to be in a hangar next to the Queen Mary in Long Beach, but I think they moved it. I don't think it's there anymore.
That's cool.
But yeah,
I'm
it's a really
looking
good
this
movie.
up.
It's a Martin Scorsese movie with Leo as Howard Hughes called The Aviator. So if you want to see him actually flying some airplanes, check that out.
That's cool. There's also it says that Howard Hughes survived 4 plane crashes. That's
What
fucking
the
insane,
fuck?
dude.
Yeah, he
He
was
was a pilot for each one of them.
yeah, he's a real character. It's
I'm
a
not
pretty good
getting in a
movie.
plane with him.
It's not the
Insane.
best. It's a Martin Scorsese movie, and it's not the best Scorsese, but it's really good.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard of it. That's a big ass plane.
You're looking up the Spruce Goose. It only flew for like a quarter of a mile, and then it
That's a
was
big boy.
gigantic.
It flew for a quarter of a mile, and then what happened?
Oh, they just landed it back on the ocean. He just
Oh.
did it to prove that he could do
Yeah,
it,
it's
that it would work.
fucking huge.
That is ridiculous, dude.
Wow. Very interesting. What are we watching next week?
Oh yes, next week's
It's
movie
Jaden's
is
pick.
Jaden's pick. Do you want to announce your Jaden, or do you want me to say it?
I'll say it.
Okay.
It's Zodiac,
Bow, 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 bow.
which has my favorite person in it and also my
your-
least favorite
That's
person
what I was
in
gonna
it.
say. It's got your least favorite actor and your most favorite actor all in the
It's the
same
balance
movie.
of good and evil.
Directed by your least favorite director, or at least one of the movies you like the least.
Alex Garland?
David Fincher, Fight Club.
Well,
So
this one's a banger.
it is a banger. It's a good one. It's a real good one. So until next week, in the time before you hear this again, you're going to go ahead and rate, review, subscribe. Check out our Patreon if you want. You do want to. And until then, as always, peace out.